how do we allocate labor to jobs in QuickBooks Desktop? And I'll tell you, there are a couple of ways that you can go about doing it. One, if you have a time tracking tool separate from this, separate from QuickBooks, but that integrates with QuickBooks, such as T-Sheets, make sure that everyone enters their time into T-Sheets and allocates. Welcome, Uday, great to see you here. And they mark their time as allocated to jobs. You can get those jobs straight from QuickBooks by syncing from QuickBooks, the customer list from QuickBooks to T-Sheets, and then export some reports to T-Sheets, and then we move into my favorite thing. Whether or not you're using T-Sheets, you capture the time in some way, you spit it out to Excel. You can even capture the time inside QuickBooks Desktop, if the logistics make sense for that. And then what you can do is take the time, run some time-based reports with the person, the time, the rates, the job, push it out to Excel, and then put together the payroll based on that information. It's best to have an Excel-based template so you can push out the raw data, have in essence, copy the whole thing and paste it into your template. The formulas, the pivot tables, whatever you've got, will just suck up that data and spit out a payroll bill saying, well, this is how much your payroll should be allocated by person, by job. And what I really like doing then is using a tool like Transaction Pro Importer. If you're using a system like Xero, you don't need TPI. You can just put it directly into the Xero template and import it, which is one of the things that I love about Xero. But if you're using QuickBooks Desktop, you can, for a one-time purchase of, I don't know, around $200 or so, you can get Transaction Pro Importer. Take all this data from Excel and push it into QuickBooks in the form of, I recommend, a single bill showing your payroll. It can be on 200 rows, who cares? But it's breaking up everybody's gross wages into the jobs, and even in the Excel template before you upload it, if you want to take that related things like payroll taxes, benefits, and allocate them proportionately to the jobs based on the allocation of that person's gross salary to each job. It doesn't matter how long the list is. Transaction Pro Importer can handle it. You import it as a single bill, it totals X, and then that bill is recorded as paid via, for example, direct deposit and whatever else. So your bill goes out, it's made out to your payroll company, and then the payments that are applied against the bill, that's just a movement of cash. That's no big deal. So importing everything as one bill allocated to each job, oh man, that's a winning technique, winning. And then you'll have amazing job costing reports that show not only materials, but labor as well. And I mentioned payroll, but of course you can do this with your subcontractors as well. So in essence, use whatever system you want to track people's time by job, get it into Excel, have it in a template, do some calculations if there are payroll taxes or benefits involved, union dues maybe, and then import all of that into QuickBooks as one or more bills. And then if it's one bill for your payroll company, then just apply the movement of cash against those bills. You're good to go. Nice that I say that in 3 minutes, right? Like, oh yeah, it's a super easy thing. Now, it's straightforward to explain. The implementation can be a bear, especially if you haven't done something like this before. But then once it's up and running, it's repetitive. It's payroll. It shouldn't be that creative, if you get my gist. It's repetitive, whether you're paying employees or contractors. It's a repetitive process. Once you have the technology installed, once you have the payroll set up, the template set up, rinse and repeat.